Okay, so I was born in at 18 Eastern Way at home, which is just around the corner from where I live now, and my mum still lives there. And I grew up on Eastern Way, went to Dean House School, which was just up the hill. So at that time there was lots of young families because it was a brand new estate. So pretty much everyone who lived here was kind of people with young kids. So there was a whole kind of generation of us that all kind of grew up together and all just walked up the hill to the school. And yeah, it was a really nice place to grow up. I really like Peterlee, and like I know a lot of people who were a bit sniffy about it and are like, oh, you know, I teach at college now, and often students they'll be like, oh, it's horrible, you know, I can't wait to get away, or but I've always really liked it. I love the dean, and I know a lot of people who do still live here who, you know, I think anybody who's ever lived in Peterlee loves the dean. Even the people who do move away, that's the big thing that they tend to talk about because it's just such an amazing place. And growing up in the sort of 70s and 80s, everybody just played in the dean. It was, you know, there was no kind of health and safety awareness of anything dangerous. It was just, you just went off and played in the dean. And I also I like the architecture. I think it's a real shame that a lot of it's disappeared. When I was little, there were the really kind of quirky modernist the houses, and there was sculptures all around the town centre and the pond in the middle of the town centre. There was all these interesting kind of architectural things that I really liked, and I do think it's a shame that a lot of that is gone and it's become kind of a lot more normalised. And but yeah, I really like Peterlee. I had violin lessons at school. Before that, I did like doing music stuff before that as well. So we had a guitar in the house, and my mum had been, when she lived in Holland, she'd been what you'd probably call it doesn't really exist here. It's like a kindergarten style teacher, like for very young children. So she, as part of that training, she'd learned to play the recorder and singing and things. So I used to, I kind of taught myself to play the recorder and constantly singing and dancing and things. And then when I went to school, when I was 9, I got offered violin lessons, and that's when I started, and I've never stopped. I remember from the very first moment that I picked it up, I just loved it was the feeling of it. You'd think it would be the sound, but like the actual kind of physical feeling of kind of the bow across the strings, and I just really enjoyed that aspect of it. And then I've just always enjoyed playing music. Yeah. When I was as a kid, I know that there was quite a strong punk kind of scene, and also there's always been quite a sort of an alternative scene and heavy metal. And my older brother, he was really into the kind of heavy metal stuff, and he was a guitarist, which was how I got into playing in bands, was playing in the band that he was in. But I was not really into that kind of thing when I was growing up, so I wasn't that aware of it. I was playing in the music service orchestra, and I was always into music that was kind of a bit older, like older music. I was into kind of Buddy Holly, and also just classical music, and also started listening to Stefan Grappelli when I was about 12, 13, which is what I mainly do now, play that style gypsy jazz. So I always had a slightly bizarre kind of musical interest. So I wasn't into the whole band scene or anything until I actually started playing in a band. Yes, so I started playing with the Rye when I was 16. My brother played in the band, so he was the guitarist, and he just kind of, like, at a certain point, he was like, do you fancy just having a go, just putting some violin parts on this? Because we used to play different things together. We play, like, folk and jazz and Beatles songs and different, like, types of music. And then he said, just have a go, you know, just see. And then I kind of got lured into the the kind of the rock band thing. And then I did that for about 10 years. We played, and we started off playing locally, and then we toured all around this country, and then we did a lot of gigs in Germany, and also went to Belgium and Ireland and different places. So I ended up doing that for like about 10 years.